Hello, my name is Jordan Luciano, and today I'll be discussing with you an article about sustainable agriculture. The article, Sustainable Intensification of Agriculture for Human Prosperity and Global Sustainability, interested me for the same reason I entered into the field of biosystems and agricultural engineering. My desire to become a biosystems and agricultural engineer stemmed from my desire to ensure every human being has a quality of life reflective of their inherent dignity. This goal can be accomplished through an environment that humans can thrive in, safe and available drinking water, a source of income, and plentiful food availability. This article showcases some of the systematic connections necessary for human prosperity and the preservation of our planet. Finding this article was relatively simple with the help of the UK Libraries database, Web of Science, and several filters. I used the database to search for articles relating to sustainable agriculture, published in the last 5 years under the topic of environmental science. This narrowed the results to about 30 publications that I selected this article from by reading through each abstract. This article caught my attention when I read that the authors were exploring how to eradicate poverty and hunger while contributing to human well-being by using sustainable practices to meet human needs while preserving our natural resources and Earth system. While this article sparked my interest, it was also cited by 216 other people. It was published in the peer-reviewed Human Environment Scientific Journal, AMBIO, on behalf of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences in February 2017. Authors Rockstrom, Williams, Daly, Noble, Matthews, and Gordon address the imperative need for a shift in agricultural development to align with the goal to feed the globe in a way that works with the Earth, not against it. According to the article, we are now living in the Anthropocene era, which is characterized by significant human impact on the environment from the Industrial Revolution until now. Following this establishment, the authors expand upon actions that should be taken to diminish the impact of human behavior that it has on our planet. The authors claim that agriculture is the leading solution to ensuring food will be available for the world population expected to increase by 2 to 3 billion people in the next 30 years, demanding a 60 to 110% increase in global food production. In the same breath, the authors call out world agriculture for being the key contributor to negative environmental change, which inhibits its own productivity. For too long, our world has approached food production in terms of how much humans can glean from the earth without preserving or maintaining its natural state. However, in the last 15 to 20 years, farmers have begun to realize that once the earth is drained of its resources, it becomes increasingly challenging to get high productivity from it. This explains the increase in encouragement for and implementation of sustainable practices in farming that mimic the Earth's processes and cycles. The authors of this article emphasize this by suggesting a shift from our current paradigm for agriculture of focusing on productivity first and sustainability as a consequence to reduce environmental impacts to a system where sustainability is at the core of agricultural development. Several of the issues addressed by this article include the fact that agriculture uses 70% of the totally withdrawn fresh water in the world, that agriculture is the largest contributor to global nitrogen and phosphorus cycle disruption, and that land allocation is not effectively managed, resulting in 40% of Earth's terrestrial surface being occupied by agriculture, with expected increases due to a livestock-centered diet. To mitigate these matters, the UN Sustainable Development Goals for 2015 included eradicating hunger and poverty by 2030 through net zero emissions of greenhouse gases, very low to zero expansion of agriculture into remaining natural ecosystems while restoring others, zero loss of biodiversity, drastic reduction in excessive use of nitrogen and phosphorus, and major improvement in water productivity and safeguarding of environmental water flows. The authors of this article think that the solutions to these goals would improve nutrition status, reduce disease burdens, increase income, improve life expectancies, and provide a host of additional socioeconomic benefits to families and communities, including 2.5 billion shareholders and 500 million small farms around the world. Several suggested solutions by the authors include maximizing ecological functions, managing watershed and river basins to safeguard rainfall, introducing nutrient management plans encompassing land, water, livestock, and crops, focusing on crop and livestock breeds with a high productivity ratio, managing natural resources in a more circular manner, and most importantly, assisting farmers in the transition to incorporate more sustainable intensification of agriculture with incentives for sustained adoption of the practices. The goals of this publication align perfectly with the goals I have set for myself in this field. There is a plethora of practices in this article that I could single out and expand upon for future research. I have experience with educating farmers and community members about best management practices, including conservation agriculture methods, and this sector is always looking for new demonstrations and solutions for problems created by poorly executed agricultural practices. This article is a great resource for innovative ideas to help the agricultural community feed our planet so it will richly feed us in return. Thank you for your time.